Yoga for healing. We're going to tap back in. See if we can get some different energy. These cards seem to want to talk and help tune in to some information. I shuffled both decks. Ooh. Three of Swords. Heartbreak, grief, release, and healing. Financial loss. There's going to be some pain, but there's also going to be blessings at the same time. It's going to be something bittersweet, maybe. Something maybe it's something that was actually like yours, like made for you. Something that was maybe sentimental value. Maybe even a spiritual meaning that you may lose, have to release. Yeah, something you'll have to release. But that will be sad, but at the same time, you're going to be getting a blessing. I'm also picking up like gratitude for like the lessons that you may have went through pain with. Banish a curse. Wow. I know I like these cards and they do talk, and they're talking right now today, so I'm going to keep using them. Confidence. You see the crown and a bee again. This is giving me a queen or king. Someone with confidence, a leader. This is like a queen bee or king bee. You know, I know there's no king bees, but you get what I'm saying. Someone that is a good leader. A few words. Because everybody knows what is known doesn't have to be explained. Magical power. Second time today. And the dragonfly. Transformations, changing. When you transformase. When you go through a transformation, you're not the same. You're different. You may look the same on the outside. You may not even look the same because you may have made changes physically. Change your hair, change how you dress. But the transformations, the growth, the being confident and aware of your own worth and power. How your role is important. What else is it that we need to know? Leadership. You run the pack. You're not a follower. And you have the confidence. Mindfulness. Being aware of fine details. Keeping things organized, in order. Focus. Able to multitask. And another, transformation. Different animals, different insects, because some insects have the same, some cards have the same, like bee or something like that, but I'm noticing this. That's interesting, but definitely confirmation on those transformations and rebirth. What else is it that we need to know? Cutting ties. That is what I was feeling, having to release. And I think that we saw something about, there was something I already confirmed about releasing. Oh, yeah, because of the heartache. The change. Transformations. Births are not easy. And you're going through rebirths. You have the sword, but it is placed down. And I'm seeing the number 8, an infinity. And this is giving me like 2 swords up there at the top. It reminds me of the 2 swords that cross, like that iron sharpens iron. You may have Scorpio in your chart. You're aware of the defense. You've been on your defense. You've been through the transformations, the growths, blooming, navigating, having enough agility to multitask. This multiple arms is giving me that multitask again, but staying focused. Like a lot of things going on around you, but you're like safe in a bubble. You don't have to have your tail out. You're relaxing, it's chilling. But at the same time, I'm thinking this is more like not you having your defenses up, but you know that you are protected. All sides, front, back, top, bottom. You have the confidence to be a good leader. And you're learning that after cutting ties. Or you have the confidence to be a good leader, but you have to cut those ties. Magical power in reverse. So the energy shifts. We have wisdom. More arms. Elevation. You know. You stay aware. And you know that your protection is always watching. Because you have that wisdom, you know. Just the knowing. But that knowing could also be confirmations and seeing works done before you that maybe only you witness. Your own manifestations. So, this heartbreak may land somewhere up in here. Someone's magical powers have been stripped. Someone you may have cut ties with. You took the leadership in your life with confidence because of the wisdom. You're somebody that likes to learn. You like to feed off the knowledge, feeding yourself the information that you learn so you can have the most honest, truthful gatherings. Confidence. What is it that we need to know about this confidence? Burdens and responsibility. Completion. This is Saturn in Sagittarius, solar plexus. You've had a lot of duties and stress, but you maintain your confidence. Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. A collaboration. Pooled energy. What is this leadership? Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords is coming in. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Or you took fast action. But yeah. Using your confidence, you were able to carry that responsibility of that Ten of Wands with your leadership skills, staying focused, being assertive and direct, being ambitious. Judgment at the bottom of the deck. Renewal, awakening, cutting ties. So, you've been here with confidence. Ten of Wands. Give me another one on this Ten of Wands. Okay, yeah. Confirmation to me. You have carried the burdens. You've done the work. You're at a Nine of Pentacles. Grounded. Venus in Virgo. Root chakra. You're being rewarded for your efforts. And this Knight of Swords wants to charge in for a union. And for some reason, I kept hearing control when I looked at the leadership. But I'm like, no, it's not about control. But then here comes the Knight of Swords. What do we need to know about this Knight of Swords? Queen of Swords. Going in the opposite direction. They're not looking at each other. Okay. You're reaping your rewards for taking your leadership. Things are about to happen fast. You may be in this Queen of Swords energy. You're welcoming, but you're cautious. You're honest and independent. Very fair and objective and very perceptive. You cut ties. And this brings in the sorrow. I said that shift was going to come in. Right here, cutting ties. What do we need to know about cutting ties? Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups energy. and a Hierophant on the bottom. You cut ties. Let me clarify on this Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords. Yeah, you knew they wanted to come run in because you have an overflow. You use your intuition. They want to come in for a financial opportunity. And you were Queen of Swords on that ass. You cut ties. Give me another one on this Queen of Swords. Yeah, they just wanted to come in and celebrate with you. But you put an end to it. You cut it off. Give me a card on this Queen of Cups. You are the Empress. You are in your Ten of Cups. And you have your Ace of Pentacles. You're in your zone where you're supposed to be because you cut off what you did not need. What did not serve you, was not helping you. You took leadership. You don't need somebody to come in that you have to pour into, and they have the nerve to try to rush in on that because they see that you were at the Nine of Pentacles at your harvest after putting in all the hard work with your self-confidence and self-motivation. You brought an ending. You went through the transformations. Their magical powers were not working on you. This one that wanted to be in the seat of a King of Pentacles without doing the work. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What do we need to know about this magical power? Oh yeah. Where'd it fall at? Where'd it fall at? Right on this celebration. Because now they want to try to run and hide. Because you know their whole story. But they don't know your whole story. They have to surrender. You have surrendered. They wanted to rush back, and now you know what their tune is. They have no power, and they want to try to run away from being out in the cold. And they're spiritually blocked from you. There's no running from that. This one that wanted to come in with the King of Wands energy to slang it, hoping that you would pour into them and celebrate. But this one is not about the wisdom. They're a sneaky, conniving, lying, manipulative clone. That you cut ties with. I wouldn't even be so rude, even knowing how much they may have done to you. Don't have the mentality. Don't sink low. They know exactly what they are and what you have done with them. What they wished upon you is what they're receiving. You didn't have to lift a finger except for carrying your own burdens, going within, forgiving yourself, and realizing that these are all lessons. And the choices we make are extremely important. It's not about a WAP or a big D. It's about your destiny, your life fulfillment, your purpose. Is that D or that yoni? Well, I wouldn't call theirs a yoni even. Yoni. Is that yoni worth it? Is that big D worth it for it to be attached to a sneaky liar that wants to come back in because they're trying to run away from being out in the cold and being blocked, including spiritually? Wow. Police at the bottom of the deck. What do we need to know about this person that is at the Nine of Pentacles? Oh, you setting the record straight, baby. And you're keeping your eye on your enemies. Not your enemy of choice. Not that you would want any enemies, but their choice to be your competition, so-called, and your so-called enemies when they were only fighting themselves. And now they're in a bank failure. Hey, I've heard it said before, when karma starts striking, it hits them pockets first. That abundance lies in your roots and you've been using it up. This Knight of Swords is toxic and insecure. What about this pouring into the cup? This Ace of Cups that they wanted. They were trying to come back to you to try to burn the evidence of where they've been and what dirty deeds they've done, including karma, to get back up under your umbrella. Brilla. To call it partying with you, when they were only trying to fulfill a sick fantasy. Of that earth angel yoni. They sick and tired of that yoni, but they won't ever touch an earth angel yoni again. Oh, speak, ancestor, speak, divine, speak. You've already been on this path. You've been learning the lessons, and you know when to check yourself. Because when you check yourself, you can recognize this sex shop, exploitation, promiscuous penises and yonis that are hooked on popping pills. This celebration. What's this celebration all about? What's this celebration? Something they should take caution on, and so should we if we were to consider anyone returning back after we've been through a lot of burdens and responsibilities that this toxic sucker, female or male, that did not assist you with, but wants to burn the evidence, wants you to forget about everything that's ever happened, including them wanting to come back and use you like a sex shop. Caution. Check yourself. They may need to check themselves. Take that how it resonates. But you're tired of this drama. And that's why it comes to an end. Their insecurities is not your responsibility. Cut ties and keep it moving on that Yellow brick road. Yellow brick road. Follow the rainbow. You know who you are. You can be kind, gentle, sweet, and giving, but just be aware of who you're giving to. There's a lot of sneaky snakes. What about this Queen of Cups? That is the Empress that's reaching their fulfillment. They reach the finish line of this obstacle, these tasks, on to the next phase. They know they fucked up for betraying you. Game over. They won't be getting away. We already saw the police car. This shape-shifting King of Wands energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but we have all the elements, I'm sure. But let's pull from here and see what falls out as far as Zodiac, because this game is over. We have all the elements on the board. Most important is that you know your story, and if you resonate. Cancer, water elements. Wow, okay. Cancer and Aquarius. I did a reading not that long ago. These same two cards, the same energies, was out. Go back and take a look. I think it was this past week. Yeah. A couple of days ago. That energy is still what it seems to be. Aquarius, Cancer, air, water. Well, dang. I hope this helped. It was a very good information, I believe, because this right here is powerful. Very powerful. And that is the answer that we have. Hit the like button. Peace.